Hi everyone, welcome to All Four Queens. I'm going to have to stand on tiptoes here because I've just put the camera on and I don't want to change it now because it's like it keeps falling down. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's all about spirituality and I talk about warfare and hopefully we'll get into healing and awakening. I'm having a bit of an interesting time at the minute because obviously I've come from my house. You know, we all know what's gone on in my neighbourhood and obviously what happened with my house and things like that. Now it's nearly closed to sale, which is good, so I can actually move forward and stuff. I think that, you know, it's quite suspicious how many people automatically came to look at it straight away, and I think I know who's bought it and why they've bought it. Hey ho, that's a different one for a different day, isn't it? At least it's in the process. Anyway, I came to the caravan park because I wanted to be around nature and I wanted to get out, and obviously, you know, I've done nothing but stay in a lot, not too much, but a little bit, because I'm being followed here as well. So, you know, this beautiful, relaxing place. I mean, luckily it is like a site. So, you know, there are places where I could walk around myself and stuff. But there's obviously people that are on here as well. And obviously, you know, you can't say who because they don't say who they are. They don't say what they stand for. But it's quite clear. I can see the same pattern with the curtains closed and, you know, the time things that they were doing in the street. So I'm just putting it out there, and also I've had so much hassle with the boiler. When I came here, it was perfect, it was lovely, and I've had nothing but hassle with the boiler. So obviously there's a lot of projection, and I left two. There was 3 bananas that were new and an avocado. And if anyone's aware of energy, you know that they went off the next day. They were just black. So if you ever want to know if you've got bad energy in your house, I would suggest you put some fruit out, because that'll tell you exactly what you're getting. And have a look at your plants as well, because your plants will also tell you. That's my experience anyway. So I'm just putting it out there because obviously I get there's an impression that people are running now to try and do things to harm me, and obviously, you know, the story is there, it's documented, and I think they've now come to the caravan park. So, you know, from my perspective, I'm just putting it out here so that everyone's aware of it, because obviously a caravan's a bit different to a house, isn't it? But, you know, still need heating, and you know, and if they're projecting negative energy and stuff. I've noticed there was a few cobwebs as well, but I'll put that down to the caravan and maybe not being cleaned as much. But obviously there were cobwebs in my house as well, which obviously weren't there. So whoever's doing certain craft, then obviously they like to cast out cobwebs to create problems. I also noticed there was a mechanic outside yesterday as well, so I need to, you know, obviously pray before I get in the car, because in my previous car, they did try and mess with it. And when I've gone through my timeline, if you remember, I said I've gone through my timeline, because don't forget this has gone on for a long time, and people have been able to keep me low so that they can get up and take stuff. So anyway, I went through my timeline, and 2018 I had a car accident, and then 2011 I had a car accident. So there's a pattern. I didn't, it was, you know, it wasn't fatal, obviously, because I'm still here, but the one in 2011, it came out of nowhere, and he physically just went in the back of me. He just physically rammed me, and he had one of those rams, you know, those cars with the bars on the front, and when he was standing there, he didn't really seem that bothered. And look, you know, luckily for me it was a company car, but he didn't seem that bothered. And when asked for his information, he said he couldn't give it, but he was standing there with his phone. So, you know, I left it to work to deal with it. But yeah, it was a very odd one. And then the one prior to that, he just admitted it straight away. So when I've looked back at all the things that I've gone through and all the challenges with work, at certain times, you know, work went crazy and people were really weird and everything else, and then I either went through a redundancy, or someone had said something that I'd said, or, you know, just to try and create drama. I've got it all documented, and it's quite an interesting read, and I would recommend to anyone, if you've gone through the similar, have a look at yours. Go back and have a look and see when things started to go challenging because it's a 7-year cycle, an 8-year cycle, and things like that. So go back and have a look, because you know I've done it, and it's an interesting read, especially when people have been trying to cause harm, you know. So hence the reason why I'm on today, because obviously I am in the caravan and I want people to know that these things are happening. I'm not, you know, it's clear, isn't it? I mean, I've reported a lot of the crimes and they've done nothing, and so you know, you take it upon your own intuition, listen to your guides, and you move on to it and get out of the environment that's not safe for you. So obviously you come here, and then again, is it safe? So, but I would say that, you know, whoever it is, family, friend, ex lover, or an ex's lover, I would suggest that you all take a step back and consider your actions, because trying to hurt somebody and attempt a fatal accident on them isn't the way forward, really. And if you've lied, then you know that's just your energy coming back, and I would take it up with the spiritual realm now, because you've created spiritual warfare purely on the basis that you had choices, but you don't have choices of your consequences. So for me, I'd take it up with them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into the cards, but before I do that, I've got TJ Blake's on. You know I like my TJ Blake's, it's like my church. And he's just talking about bridges to destiny, and he's basically just said the point that if you are trying to control somebody else's life, somebody else's world, and everything that they do, then it's witchcraft and you're a witch. Because nobody has the right to try and take and control somebody else's life. You know, we're not in the, I mean, you know, we could say, you know, I've already said it's a breach of human rights, but also modern slavery, you know, keeping somebody down so that you can benefit. That's not humanity, is it? And that's what we're all here for. It's about humanity at the end of the day. The new world is about change, and it's about bringing people together and celebrating them, whether they've got a lot or whether they haven't. And if they haven't, then it's down to the ones that have to help the ones that haven't, and let them grow and figure out how they can expand their wealth. That's what it's about. So for me, again, you know, how many people? 7 billion people. You've come for me, so obviously I'm special in your eyes, and there's obviously a blessing coming towards me, because as he always says, you know, you're always there sniffing around the blessing before it actually gets to us. So I did ask the cards, because obviously I wanted to have an understanding of the cards as well. And you know, we can all feel it, can't we? We all know there's been a big shift. But obviously there's the diehards that won't accept that the cycle's closed, or they want to keep the cycle open. But again, I say to you, whoever you are, you need to take that with the spiritual realm now, because of the stuff that you've done. It's in their hands and it's not in mine. Because keep coming for me and you're just creating more drama. And I know that I know that you've been in the caravan, so whoever it is has abused their positions of power again, because I see what you've put in there. I'm a seer. I see you. I know you've been in because I've seen you. So, you know, yes, I can't necessarily mention it on the 5D, but I do believe there are some psychic investigators out there that do know what I'm talking about, because obviously whilst you're watching me, they're watching you. So, you know, and I've seen you. I've seen all the things that you've done. So all I'm saying is be mindful. But hey ho, let's get into the cards, because I wanted to know what was going on with the cards. And you know, there's a lot going on at the minute. There is a lot going on. So I'm going to take it from the back. So the Ace of Pentacles, which I think is what everyone's going mental about. This Ace of Pentacles from the Ten of Pentacles, but then remember everyone was holding on to Four of Pentacles from the Ten of Pentacles that they all took as well. The Devil, or you could say obsession. King of Swords. He's now in his head, a bit stressed. Sorry, this is the light seer's deck. Because of the Queen of Wands now, if you look, she's doing a bit of magic. So maybe the Queen of Wands has gone a bit too far. The Emperor. Now, the Queen of Wands could be embodying the Emperor, or the Queen of Wands and the Emperor. So you take it as you find it, because obviously it could be your story as well as it could be mine. Are both now stressed, so they're probably two. And now in the Ten of Swords, is no Nine of Swords. So that's in the Razor Wire, where there's the person lying, and there's the Nine Swords above. So I mean, the Nine of Swords, not a great card to be in, to be fair, because the Knight of Wands, betrayal. Now bear in mind, Knight of Wands, that's when they were younger, because obviously they're adults now. So got a victory. But the truth, my truth, pushed everyone into healing. Now, not everybody has, some haven't, but some have. And then they rushed forward, because bear in mind, the truth counteracts anything else that's been said, because the truth is the truth, isn't it? So over the victory, there wasn't really a victory, because the truth sort of eroded everything that had been said that wasn't true. So they walked away. So the Knight of Wands, who obviously King of Swords, walked away from Queen of Cups and closed a cycle. Now, I would say that's why a lot of things are happening, because the cycles are being closed, and people don't want them closed because they want to keep with the luxury lifestyle that they had. But the thing is, that was never their lifestyle to have in the first place. So he sent a message about a reunion, or a message about a third party. Either or, take it as you find it. It's your story as much as it is mine, excuse me. To the Empress, or about the Empress. Message about judgment. So I would say there was a message sent to the Empress, and it was judgment. It was a judgment call, because it wasn't a nice message. And I know in my instance, someone sent me a message, I didn't get the message. Someone else had gone into my emails, because obviously I've got this obsessed copycat that just thinks they're me, but obviously has a position of power, or can access things that shouldn't access. I think they actually are something to do with IT, which obviously again is still fraud, it's still illegal. You know, you can't just go and do stuff because you feel like you can. That's not the way the world works. So so there was an email that I was supposed to get, I didn't get it, and it got deleted. I didn't get it. I was asked about it, but I didn't get it. So it could be that on my story, but it could also be something on your story. Anyway, the judgment caused a tower and a huge burden, because of all the secrets, which are all out now anyway. Everyone's got it. I mean, you know, I'm not the only one. It's my story, but I'm not the only one who's got the same story of somebody trying to hack you, follow you, try and take control of your life, because they want to hide a load of things that they did in the past. And usually it's about money that they took that they didn't involve you in. You know, I'm not the only one there, because, you know, but spiritual realms see everything, don't they? So anyway, burdened about all the years in the past, about the single one, which I would classify in my story as me, because she got juggled and blocked. She got blocked from every opportunity possible, and, you know, abused to the point where to keep her down, and so everybody else was high and flying and getting everything they wanted, and she was getting, you know, pushed around from, you know, really nefarious stuff, and also not having any help from the authorities as well, who were just as culpable. Not all, but the ones that I dealt with weren't very helpful at all, but obviously were involved, or I'm assuming, you know, allegedly involved. Blocked by the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles made a point of blocking my progress and my journey throughout my life. But what they didn't know is I just don't post stuff on the social media. I just did what I was guided to do in the way that I was guided to do it, and I did it. Obviously I'm aware now that there were some people that shouldn't have been close to some of the things that I was doing because they were leaking information, but you live and learn, don't you? So King of Pentacles, he's now stressed because of the past. Opportunity, which the Queen of Swords stole, but she's the Queen of Swords in reverse, remember. And now there's justice because of, so now there's justice because of the injustice that was done, and it was done pretty much all my life. Action was taken, fast action was taken by the Star, who is running because there wasn't any love in the connection and the opportunity that he had with the Queen of Swords in reverse, because he made the wrong choice. So all those choices there, and he didn't pick the red one, the one, the divine one, for a better word. He picked all as one of the other ones because he took a leap of faith. Now stuck. When he was younger, or she was younger, so I would say teenager and child. So obviously when you go through a dark night of the soul, you go through everything that you've ever been through. So sometimes it's like the cards will represent, you know, your teenage years and your child years, and now they're fighting. So obviously they're fighting the past, really. I would say that's how I would interpret it. I mean, obviously you interpret it the way you want. And now everyone's watching, because obviously the truth is coming out, not just on my channel but on other people's channel, about the lovers in the family. Now we know previously they were paid to, there was a payment made to make a specific choice and not the choice of the path of righteousness. And obviously when you're younger, you're going to do what you're going to do, aren't you? So yeah, so the King of Cups, who was with the Magician, or is the Magician, hasn't gone within, hasn't moved to calmer waters because of the greed over the Ten of Pentacles, and that could be family as well, remember. Now everyone's getting the bad karma, like I said, you know, karma's coming back, which I think is why I've posted on another one, the universal tennis. Everyone's projecting, but there's no point projecting at us. It's your energy. You take your energy back, because that's what you put out. And I would strongly recommend don't send any more out, because it's just going to hit you straight away on top of what you're already dealing with. So for me, I'd just be mindful, really. Karma, the King of Wands, new beginning, but he's out in the cold because he didn't use his intuition, or he's out in the cold from the High Priestess because he was working to wait and get strength, but now heartbroken. Now for my story, there's a little bit of, there was so much time taken out. Now I'm not saying, you know, everyone to their own, and people got caught up in things, and you know, there's reasons why people have done what they did. But if you don't come to the person and explain that, they're never going to know. So for me, I didn't get an explanation, and obviously I didn't receive the email. And for all the friends and family that have been involved, they haven't given me their side of the story, and I'm not expecting an apology, not at all, but because I know they're obviously going through their own karma. However, it's strangers that are piecing the puzzle together, as well as my guides through tarot. So so yeah, so he's heartbroken by all the lies, manipulation and deception that was created in like a partnership or a marriage or a celebration, or whatever you want to call it. So he walked away. Now, part of our journey is to show the truth. The truth is the truth, no matter what you want to say. And I think all of us at some point in our lives have been lied to in our family networks and in our friend groups, and you know, everything has been a bit of a lie. And now the truth is out. The purpose of why we share it is so people can make decisions based on the truth, not based on the lies, the deception and the hidden motives. And for me, I think he did the right thing to walk away, or she did the right thing to walk away. It's no different from what I did. You know, why would I want to be around people that are not going to be honest? Doesn't make sense, because they're just going to keep doing it. Hence why you close cycles and you set firm boundaries, healthy boundaries. Anyway, walked away and was waiting for a 2 of Cups to get balance because of regret. Now, I'm not quite sure whether that's the right reason to do it. I mean, regret, remorse, or is it because it just didn't work out and the history has come back to bite everybody, and now the wrong decision was made and it's out in the open? I don't know, and I think only the people and the person involved in it would only be able to explain that. And there was always 2 sides to every story. We know that, you know, but obviously that's what the cards are saying. So regret's holding on to the marriage with a third party. Now, it could be a third party or collaboration, whichever way you want to look at it. For money, now I would say it's the latter, holding on to the marriage with the third party for money. So they got paid to stay, basically. Now stressed, or there was a benefit to stay. I'm not saying someone got paid, but who knows? Because now there's a death and rebirth with the Queen of Pentacles, but we know the Queen of Pentacles is also Queen of Pentacles in reverse, because it came to light that the only reason why she was paying for him to stay was because she was abusing the person that should have been in that relationship, and for a very long time, and making up stories, creating false narratives. You know, I mean, you've seen the stuff that has been recent. I mean, all that has gone on my whole lifetime, you know, telling people that I'm all sorts of things and I'm not stable, and getting exes to take photos of me in compromising positions, which is obviously private, you know, for a very long time. So, you know, but all these things are now out in the open, aren't they? So, you know, the abuse that I suffered, and I'm sure that other people have, was insidious, was disgusting and nefarious and very disappointing. And the people that were involved with it and endorsed it, and those of authority as well, you have to ask what society do they work for? Because that's not humanity, and that's not putting your own personal gain aside and treating everyone with dignity and respect, irrespective of what you're told, because we don't go on opinion, we go on fact. So yeah, so I was abused a lot, and I still am now, hence why I'm doing it, because the caravan, they've been in the caravan, so whoever it is has obviously got pull and has got power, because they're in my laptops and they're on my internet. Here is a little Vodafone one. Now I know I'm using theirs, so you know, and they're in my laptop because pictures keep changing as well. So anyway, so there was a lot of abuse, and now everyone regrets the cup. Again, regret, remorse, or is it because the fairy tale didn't pan out the way everyone expected it to, and they could all go skipping and dancing down the highway and still continue on the same trajectory that they've been on for the last how many years, with taking money and leaving other people out in the cold. And that's not just my story, that's you know, that's everyone's story as well. I mean, luckily, like I said, you know, I was lucky enough to follow God's way and my ancestors and have a very good career, although the career that I had come to various jobs came to abrupt endings when somebody else decided to play God in my life. But obviously, prior to that, I've had some, I've been lucky enough to have a good career in law and other things. So, but they decided to put a stop to it. And I think the spiritual realm have said, you're not doing this anymore. You're not God. And we're now going to expose everything that you've been doing because you've had ample opportunity to do it and you haven't done it. And you cannot treat individuals in the way that you've been doing it because you think you can. No. So now everyone's accountable for their own energy, and what they're doing is, rather than accepting what they've put out, they're now projecting out more. But now they're coming on the 3D and doing all the little whatever they do with the curtains closed, and coming into the caravan and throwing out like negative spirits and things like that. So yeah, and obviously trying to create this narrative that, I've had an accident. So I'm putting it out here because I want people to know that this is serious. And those on the physical, unless you've got a bit of evidence, I know there are other people watching it, but because it's spiritual and physical, who are you going to call? And the only person or energy that you call is the ancestors from the spiritual realm, who see everything anyway. And I've seen everything. That's how your Akashic records are built. So for me, that's where we're at. Obviously there's a lot of regret now, but people probably don't know how to transmute the energy. So rather than not transmute it and accept what's gone on, they're just throwing more out and trying to come a little bit more harder. I'll see if the heating continues to work. One of the concerns was whether or not they kept messing with the flue, so they're making the toxins come into the property as well, because that's an easy way of saying natural death, isn't it? You know what I mean? We all know they're trying to force a narrative of an attempted M, or they're trying to actually make it happen. So, the car accidents and all that sort of stuff. So, I'll post tomorrow and keep you posted. All I ask is that everybody say a prayer for me, a positive prayer, not a prayer of negative, a positive prayer, and I will do the same as I always do. I always pray for the collective anyway. I'm sending love, light, healing, harmony, peace to everyone who needs it. And I thank you so much for listening to me and watching my story. And I hope that when we move out of this and everything gets to get more balanced, I've left it with God. You have to have faith that I can start to really help people on their journey as well, and get them through some of the challenges and the difficult times. Because always remember, it's not done to you, it's done for you. And why do I say that? It's to give you endurance, courage, resilience and strength, because you never know how strong you are until you test it. And you've got to remember, our strength is so much stronger, because when people do what they're doing, that's not a sign of strength, that's a sign of control and weakness. That's a sign that someone's losing their control within themselves, and they're obviously weak because they feel they need to control somebody else. So we have to pray for our enemies as well, because whatever they're going through, or whatever's taken over, that's something they need to deal with anyway. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next one. See you later. Bye.